Hello, welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Dorei-Ku, the animation, episode 3. So depending on how this episode goes, it might be the last one that I react to. It's been okay, but, not, not that, not that good. um, Last episode did get me kind of, was a little intense when they were playing the game, but I did not believe that the main characters were actually going to lose. Anyway, so last episode we're introduced to two new characters, Ayaka and Seiya. Seiya is a what would you I guess a host or whatever. I don't know what you would call them. At a bar, they sit with women and talk with them and something, but they get like tips and all that. And Ayaka, her name, right? Yeah, was his client, I guess, for a while. So he decided to have them both try on the device, the SCMs, to get her to be his slave. He had told her to lose on purpose, but she didn't. She actually did the opposite and won. He told her they were playing rock paper scissors. He told her to throw like scissors, and he was going to throw rock, and that way he could win. But instead, she threw paper while he threw rock, so he lost. He was surprised because she said she would lose on purpose, but she had other plans. Once he became her slave, she started asking questions. I guess she has been in love with him for a long time, since they've started this clientee type of relationship, or whatever you call it. He I guess she thought he didn't have a girlfriend, but he does. She asked. She's been giving him a lot of money, and she asked what he did with it. I guess a few months ago, and he said he went on vacation with his girlfriend. And she's like, "Well, you told me you went alone," because he's not going to tell her that he has a girlfriend. Anyway, she makes him break up with his girlfriend, let her move in. Basically, she's making him her boyfriend through the SCMs. But he obviously does not want that. But then again, it's not like what he was going to do was much better. He was basically going to make her his slave and just use her as like some piggy bank or something, and just have her give him money and stuff whenever he needed it and things like that. Basically, he was just going to use her for money. So it's not like he was much better. Then the two main characters, Aya and Ota? I think that's his name. They were able to find them because there's some kind of app that lets people know where people wearing the SCMs are located. Like if they're nearby, there'd be a mark on the map. It'll tell you who's a slave, who's not a slave, stuff like that. Then So they find them at the bar that Saya works at and challenge them to a game. I think it was called like Thumbs Up or something, where basically they have their thumbs like this, and then the person whose turn it is guesses how many people are going to have their thumbs up. And if they get it right, then they put like an arm behind their back. And when both arms are off the table, then they're out. But both people have to be from the team have to win in order for them to win the game. Saya was the first one to win. He actually was the one that convinced Ayaka to do the game, because she wasn't going to, but he convinced her that it would be all right. He had a plan, and he certainly did have a plan. Once Ayaka was left alone, she did not know what to do. Then Ota was the next one to leave, and then Aya was next. So Saya and Ayaka lost. And then they became Ota's slaves. And Saya took out all of his frustrations on Ayaka. First, I believe he punched her in the face. And then was going to continue attacking her, considering the fact that she made him, leave his girlfriend, who he really, really loved. Had her move in, did all these things. But again, it wasn't like what he was going to do was any better, in my opinion. But Ota tells him to stop, so he has to listen, so he stops. And they asked, why were you two so calm about the whole thing? And Ota tells them it's because I had insurance. And Aya shows him that she wasn't wearing an SCM. Only Ota was wearing one. And he explains that they were going to play the game, and if by some bad luck he ended up losing, only he would be a slave, and she would be able to get him out of it by challenging them to something and winning. But he ends up keeping them on as slaves, but tells them to live their life like any other day until he needs them. Aya asks, why are you not releasing them? I thought you weren't interested in owning slaves. And he's like, we just got 2 for 1. It's not like I'm not going to make them really do much of anything anyway. I'm just going to, let them live their life, and if I need them to do something, then I might call on them. But until then, they're just going to be normal. And now they're going to continue and keep going on. Saya, still upset that he lost his girlfriend, is in I think the location where she said he asked her out for the first time. And she ends up showing up. They talk. He tells her, he wants her to move back in. He wants her back. That he'd never let her go again. And, another thing Ota told them was not to accept any challenges from anybody. To ensure that they do not become anybody else's slaves, I guess. And his girlfriend, Saya's girlfriend, Julia, who I actually mixed up for Aya last episode, tells him that she met somebody, but it seems, in my opinion, that she's a slave. She showed off a tattoo, gave a name. I cannot really remember the guy's name. But yeah. I'm assuming she's a slave. So yeah, I don't know really what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to pick up right where it left off and continue their conversation or what. So let's just get into this and see what is going to happen. So the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. Oh, yeah. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.